That's why I brought these cakes. I used them to illustrate GDP growth before, and I want to end with that. We've got this. Let us say that you have a family of 3 children, husband and wife. And this is the cake. This is your income. This is what you're sharing. When you have 2 more children, what happens if you still depend on this cake? What happens? You're going to be worse off. If you now move to a bigger cake because your income is growing, is that not a better thing? But after you've added the 2 children, husband and wife, you are now 5 children, husband and wife. How many? 7. The man goes and marries another wife and produces another 3 children. So now you have 3 children plus 1 more wife, isn't it? From the 7, you have added another 4. How many is that? 11. Is this cake going to be enough? No. So you move to a bigger cake. Wouldn't you want your income to increase? Yes. What I'm describing to you is what is happening in the Nigerian economy. Our population is increasing each year by 2.8%. If our GDP does not grow, we will be like that man who had a small cake and had 5 children, and then it was okay for them. When he added another 3 or 4, it could no longer be sufficient because he has added more people. As we speak in this country, we are adding population every single day. And if we want to be able to even have a chance to feed some of those people, I'm not saying that their life, is the best or whatever, but a chance to feed them, this economy must grow the cake. And that is why what GDP is all about. That is why this larger cake is what we are saying, that under President Goodluck Jonathan, the size of the cake has been what? Increasing. Thank you very much. That is the wrap-up.
Can we please increase this applause, please? Your applause, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. That was the Honorable Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Nigerian Economy, Dr. Mrs. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. A very beautiful, insightful, incisive, and in-depth projections, analysis of the Nigerian economy. Okay, but you can just leave it for now so that we don't have too much distractions. Thank you very much for donating this cake to the Presidential Public Affairs Forum. Now, please, we're going to quickly take questions and answers, observations and comments. But before then, because the Honorable Minister of Finance has to be somewhere else, she's actually presiding over an international meeting shortly. I will want us to first take her own set of questions. If it's only 3 or 4 questions she can take before she leaves, it will be so much appreciated. 1 question, madam. Let's make it 2, please. Thank you very much. 2. Yes, the man in red cap. The man in red cap. Please, your name, your organization, and your question. Just 1 question.
My name is Dr. Obio Nelson. I'm a retired Federal Permanent Secretary. Madam, I want to make a confession. I'm a big fan of yours. Well done. We enjoyed listening to you. I have a very simple question for you. Do you know that many countries in West Africa target Nigeria for their imports? Some sourcing foreign exchange from CBN. Funds allocated at CBN to certain commodities are not equal to the amount of quantity of commodities imported into Nigeria. Why do you insist on import waiver in the current phase of falling oil prices? Why don't you consider import discounting and post waiver application? Thank you.
Thank you very much. And then, well, sorry, please, we can't take more than 2 questions on this session, please. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My contribution or comment will be addressed to the Honorable Minister of Finance.
Name and your organization.
My name is Engineer Chinazo Okereke. I'm the Chairman Board of Trustees of Abuja Estate Developers Association. Madam, My comment is about housing. And I want to inform you that over 10,000 houses in Abuja under the mass housing program of the FCT do not have titles. And we have repeatedly complained about this because what it means is that these houses that amount to over 500 billion naira represent debt capital, which can neither be mobilized to create more jobs or to create more wealth. Developers under the mass housing program are not more than 250. And we are saying if only the FCT administration will issue titles to these developers, they can mobilize resources to finish projects that they have started, as well as issue deed of assignments or sublease to beneficiaries of this scheme, so that most of them can use their houses or the titles as collateral for microcredits to access and participate in many of the intervention programs of federal government, which are very laudable.
Thank you.
So we're using this opportunity, madam, to solicit your help in this regard to unlock this debt capital. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for two excellent questions. The first one was, on why do we do import waivers and not to look at import discounting, and that the country is being flooded with goods from the other West African countries, isn't it? Let me just talk about the import waiver. It's a very important question and clarify something. You're right. Previously, our import waiver policy was not a very good one. It resulted in an unlevel playing field when we gave waivers to individuals, to individual concerns and individual industries. And sometimes we didn't do it, in as strategic a fashion as we should have. All that has been reformed as of 2-3 years ago. In fact, I make bold to say that when we first started in the administration, when I first came and we had the first economic management team meeting, the first issue that the president put on the table was that we needed to reform the import waiver policy, because he felt that it generated a lot of rancor, a lot of unlevel playing field, and a lot of visitors at midnight. He wanted something that would create something that would be managed in a dispassionate manner, and we reformed it thoroughly. If you look now, these waivers are by sector. Once we give a waiver in a sector, everybody in that sector is entitled to get that waiver. Or for an issue, if we give a waiver in an area, everyone is. And why do we do it? We are doing it now as part of the industrial policy that the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment was talking about. You can talk to him. In many countries, these are used as incentives to try and attract companies to come and invest. So the waivers you see now, let me just give you some examples. We have sectoral ones like agricultural equipment. And agricultural equipment means that those who want to invest can bring in the equipment at zero duty. Then we have waivers for different sectors like power. Sectors where we feel we need to invest and we need to make things easier for the actors in the economy. So power is another example. Gas, because we want to encourage the use of gas. So any industry trying to use gas-related equipment, they can bring it in at zero duty. To spur our mines and mineral sector, we also have mining equipment that you can bring in at zero duty. So we now have a strategic approach. So all those ideas that the waiver policy is not good relate to the past, not what we are doing now. And when you hear numbers that, we are giving away 800 billion and so on and so forth, those are totally incorrect, because they are based on waivers for the oil. The fuel that is brought in doesn't pay import duty because the government has decided that this is part of keeping the price low. But the regular waiver policy is a very rational and strategic one. So that's what I wanted to assure you. It will take us some time to convince Nigerians, but things have really changed. And we publish all the waivers on the website of the budget office. If you want to know who we have given waivers, where and how much, go to the website of the budget office. The second question was on housing, on the issue of lack of titles in for mass housing in the FCT, debt capital. It's a very